What's up, gays, straights, and other days? It's Mally. I'm back with another episode of Lady in Mystery. And last we left off, Leader Kong is now staying with us because she might have angered some pretty big merchants. And then some lady came to our door, but she's not after her. She's a future client. So let's just get right on into this. She was not a merchant chasing after Leader Kong. She was a client who came here to make a request. Her name was Hongryon, and she seemed about 40. She's one step away from being old, but she was more graceful than any other women in their 20s. Her steps were very light and her skin was so smooth. She said she was giseng before, so she's retired giseng now. She wasn't just any giseng who prostitute themselves, but a giseng who's actually performing. As Hongryon told me why she came here, Leader Kong, who was just sitting on the side, frowned a little and then made a little sound of realization. Wait, did you just say Hongryon? Are you the famous government giseng from Myeong? Yes, it was a long time ago though. I knew it. You looked familiar. Wait, what? You know each other? You were so famous as a master of a sword dance. Now that she mentioned it, I think I've heard of that name before. I've never seen her myself, but she seemed to be so famous among people from a generation earlier. There's even lyrics that go like, Hongryon, the best sword dancer in Hanyang, Gi Young, the best singer in Hanyang, and Dong Shim, the best Korean harp player in Hanyang. I'll take your word for it. That Hongryon from that song? Oh my gosh, I didn't know this famous person would visit me. When I suddenly got up, Leader Kong and Hongryon looked at me weirdly. I searched the drawer, pulled out the expensive brush and paper that I saved for the special occasion, and handed them to Hongryon. Okay, apparently I'm a fan of you. You can just draw me an orchid or write me one line of any poem. Then I'll just get half of the pay. What the fuck? I've never seen such celebrity before. My heart started to beat thick as I gave her the paper and waited. Hongryon was about to reject it at first, smiling awkwardly, but after seeing my excited face for a while, she ended up grabbing the brush. Oh my god. With pressing the brush on the paper several times, she drew a chrysanthemum and wrote down the famous poems. She didn't really seem like moving her arms much, but after a few strokes, there was a flower, leaves, and some twigs on the paper. I'd never seen anyone drawing so well like her. I thought Woo-sung draws the best. Well, yeah, but suddenly his hand seemed like a pig's hands compared to her. I could easily spend 3 years just watching you drawing all day. Jesus, so you're fangirling hard. As I got the painting and got impressed, Hongryon rubbed her neck awkwardly. Her clothes were humble and she wasn't really wearing much makeup. She's living quietly after getting old. Why do you think 40 is old? So, who's the missing person? What's your relationship with that person? Well, it's a young guy who's about 10 years younger than me. My relationship with him is... Hongryon hesitated for a while and then gave a sigh. He used to come see me every so often ever since he was a little kid. Well, like a son to you? Well, I can't call him a kid anymore now since he got older as well. He's been keeping in touch with me for over 10 years until recently, but then he suddenly disappeared. If he had some situation, he would have sent me a letter at least. It's just odd. Okay, so he's a friend of yours. So, he's not family. Were you in a relationship with him? If she knew him from like a child, I doubt that. If that's the case, it's better you tell me now. Yikes. No, I hope not.
How you doing? All right, how are you? Should have a seat over in that chair, please.
Hongryon got surprised and aggressively shook her head right away. No, it's not like that. Hongryon bit her lips and concluded that he just came and requested her to draw something or perform some instruments. I guess it was some kind of sponsorship. Usually a retired giseng trains the upcoming generation, and when the age hits 40, they just do nothing and spend the money they made when they were young. Oh, is that why you consider her old? Okay. No matter how famous and popular they were, it was not easy for them to live through if they are not greedy enough. He's been admiring me since he was little. This is getting weirder. So he even came to me after I retired and became alone and treated me like an artist and paid me for my painting and my performance. I've been really grateful for him. Please don't call my precious relationship with him a sexual relationship. I'm not. I'm honestly glad that it's not like that. Like, okay, it's different if you were both kids and you knew each other back then, but like, if you knew this kid when he was in diapers and then got into a relationship with him like later on, then it would be weird. Like, really fucking weird. Hongryon looked down with her eyelashes quivering. So who is that guy? Who is that constant and passionate fan of yours? He is Park Bong-tae, who used to work at Songbong. And an unexpected name came out of Hongryon's mouth. Park Bong-tae from Songbong? Have I heard that name before? She came here to talk about someone from Songbong just in time when Leader Kong is here? As I got surprised and looked back, Leader Kong seemed nervous. He was a Yongbon, but he became a son-in-law of the owner of the silk store. I have heard this name before. He's a secretary for the silk store, so people call him Clerk Park. Yeah, wait, that Clerk Park? Oh shit, wait, we know him. Can we Can we just, well, Leader Kong can't really go out. Can we give her directions so she can just go by herself? Clerk Park. I've definitely met him. Yeah, back at the library when we found Leader Kong's Yuri smut. But it wasn't for a good cause, so I held my breath. Oh, wait. Yeah, he was the one that was guilty of basically being responsible for Leader Kong getting scammed for that one fucking book and saying it was real when it wasn't. Yikes. Okay, never mind. I met him when the expensive book called the Book of Mathematics and Astronomy was stolen from the Library of Songbong. Literally just said that. Okay. I caught him as a suspect. He put the books in the well full of mud so no one would be able to use that again. Well, I do appreciate the game recapping that a little bit because it has been a while since we were last there. Okay. Yeah, I remember this. Nice to meet you. I'm Park Bong Tai. Yeah, I completely forgot your name when we talked before, but now I remember you. Okay, I don't know why you felt the need to flash back to... Okay, we're still flashing back. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I got too scared when I made a mistake after you told me there shouldn't be any mistake. Please forgive me. I was worried it might drag our Songdon's name through the mud if we sell fake books. I thought it would be better for the books to be stolen than for you to get embarrassed. Yeah, I remember. But thank you for the recap anyway. When I was bringing back the memories and rubbing my chin, Leader Kong gave a little sigh and put her elbows on the table. Oh, babe, you're so cute. I'm afraid I haven't introduced myself properly to you, Hongryon. I'm the leader of that Songbong in Hongryon. What? As Hongryon got surprised, Leader Kong nodded with a very sweet attitude. She is sweet.
Ha! Gay!
I thought I told all his acquaintances and families about him. I guess I missed one here. I know all his whereabouts and how he's doing. Clerk Park went on the boat and went to Songbong and Naju. Naju? He went to Jeonlado? He made a mistake, so I sent him there for a few years as a punishment. I became attached to him, so I didn't want to send him away, but the rule in Songbong is pretty strict. Hongryon seemed relieved for the first time, but then she shook her head again. But I still feel like something went wrong with him. He hasn't contacted me at all. No way. Clerk Park has a family, so he might be out of touch suddenly when something comes up. But it never happened for the last 10 years. Oh geez, that's a long time. He always sent me letters. He sent me a letter when he went to Songdo, and he even sent me letters when he went to Dongnae for a few years. It took about half a year for the letter to come from the southern end. Whenever he goes too far, he used to send his errand boy to see how I'm doing every day so he can know when he comes back. Huh. Leader Kong frowned a little. But this time he didn't send anyone before he went. He didn't even tell me he was going somewhere. Well, I don't think he had much of a choice because I basically exiled him. He didn't even ask me how I'm doing. He could have sent me a letter even if he went to Naju. Junghuso became so quiet for a while. Only the sound of water dripping from an old and tiny water clock filled the air. Leader Kong broke that awkward silence. Now that I heard you saying that, it makes me worried as well. Why don't we look for Clerk Park together? Wait, what? What? I thought you needed to stay in hiding. Wait, what's happening? Huh? You don't have to. No, this is about my Songdan as well. It is unacceptable for the owner of a Songdan to not know about what happened to the member of their Songdan. Don't you think so? I suppose, but babe, I thought you were in danger. You're right. And this mister here can figure out anything. You've come to the right place. As Leader Kong said that, Hongryon seemed to be a little more positive, but she still seemed a little uncomfortable. Her wrinkly eyes were full of worries and her thin neck seemed so feeble. I made a simple contract with Hongryon, calculated the pay, and got 1 yang from her as an advance payment. Hongryon got the contract paper and got up calmly. When Hongryon was about to go, Leader Kong stopped her. If you ever have trouble with your living or have any problem, please feel free to come to me at Songdong anytime. I can't just let you suffer since you were close to Clerk Park, who I cared so much about. I'll just accept your heart. Squeeze you? Fucking squeeze you? Back off! Thank you. You can leave now. Hongryon bowed slowly. She maintained her graceful attitude like a crane until she went out of Junghuso. Yeah, goodbye now. Good fucking bye. Get out. Get the fuck out. She is taken. Excuse you. Ugh. Leader Kong couldn't get out of Junghuso until the day got dark. Wait, you're leaving again? Merchants were still outside even after the sun went down, and her bodyguards who lost her earlier during the day must have been wandering around looking for their master. No one's coming. Indeed. Leader Kong drew aside the folding screen on the corner and sat down comfortably on the borio. But everything about her, from modestly gathered knees to her luxurious clothes and her elegant posture, didn't really get along with Junghuso, which was messy and distracting. I kept looking at her, supporting my chin with my hands. What if no one comes to find you? You can't go back to Songbong alone. Let's wait for a little more, and then if still no one comes to find you, then let's go out some disguise clothes in my store. I'll go with you. But Leader Kong didn't reply and just smiled. Why are you smiling? Yes, I know, this is too much. I was searching through the box full of monk's robes, Giseng's hairband, a bamboo hat, some armors, and long coats seriously just until now. But then I took off my hands and straightened my back as if I never touched that box. Leader Kong was already looking at what's in the box. I pushed the box away with my foot. On the table was the contract I made with Hongryon with some terms. I pressed it down with an ink palette, but the corner of the paper kept fluttering by the wind. I was pressing that down with my hand blankly and then bent over. Is it really okay for us to do this? Huh? Hongryon's basically doubting you and Songbong. However careful we are, it might cause some damage to your Songdong. You've already said yes to her. Well, I could have said no if I was alone, but you told her you were going to find him together with her, so I had to say yes. I could have rejected it. Leader Kong was quiet for a while. She seemed a little surprised too. She blinked her eyes several times as if she just found something interesting, and then she just smiled. What? What is it? I'm surprised you said something so unrighteous. What are you talking about? Jung Hoo-seo helps people for money in the first place, but I have to be responsible once I make a contract, so when it doesn't feel right, I'd rather say no in the beginning. Oh, but you've been saying yes to a lot of things for that. What? Leader Kong buried herself even deeper into the Boryo. What are you doing? I knew right away who she was implying. Oh my god, you and Juhi! I could hear Juhi laughing even though she was not at the store. And the time when she came to the store and asked me to hide her on the first day came across my mind. Well, I mean, I said no to her, Shim Juhi, for like half a day. But she kept insisting and ended up living here. See, I put in some effort. I tried so hard to kick her out, but she refused. She wasn't normal in the first place. The fuck does that mean, assertive? While I was frowning, thinking of Shim Juhi, Leader Kong was watching me very quietly. Anyway, I've already said yes to this case. Don't worry about it. I'm fine, and I'm just glad that you asked me. I'm glad and kind of sad at the same time. Wait, why? Glad and sad at the same time? I'm glad that you're worried about me now. I'm always worried about you. What about being sad? I'm sad because you're so worried about me. Oh. You're worried about me because you're doubting me even for a little bit. Wait, no, it's not about doubt. I just care about you. You think maybe my Songdon actually has some problem. I don't know. Leader Kong looked up with an even more clear facial expression. It was like she was asking me to deny it right away if I'm going to deny it. But I was thinking to myself that if I really doubted Leader Kong, so I couldn't answer right away. In the meantime, Leader Kong's smile got bigger. Soon Leader Kong got up. The steps she walks around Jung Hoo-seo with her hands folded on the back seemed light and heavy at the same time. She walked inside the dusty building, even in strides, showing the tip of her feet coming out of her skirt every time. Leader Kong was touching the surfaces of all kinds of stuff from the bookshelf to the globe with the tip of her fingers, and then stopped at old mathematics books. It was all from her. When I first got into this store, the store was empty and there was only one Queen-style chair that you made yourself, and a table that was not well painted at all. It was completely empty. Yeah? And then you gave me literally everything. Leader Kong talked about the time she came here 5 years ago and looked at me in the dark shadow of the bookshelf. What do you think of me? Oh, wait, what? What do you mean? Then she suddenly asked. Leader Kong always smiled, but this time I couldn't see her face. Oh, wait, are you hiding in the shadow because you're afraid of what I'll say? Babe. How much do you trust me? A lot, actually. I mean, I've seen some shady things, but I think I trust you quite a bit. Wait, what? We're just cutting to... Wait, hey! How much do you... What are you gonna ask me to do something? Yurin? How much do you trust me? Leader Kong's words came through the sultry air in the room. Wait, what? Why is the air sultry? I know that we like each other, but I don't think the air's gotten sultry just yet. What? Someone slammed the door closed from the next door, and it caused the air pushed out of that door and the breeze through the small window of Jung Hoo-seo. In that short moment when the lamplight was swaying, I could see Leader Kong's eyes. Leader Kong was smiling softly habitually, but her eyes were shaking. Oh, you're afraid. We looked at each other's eyes for quite a while. It's still quite cold at night, maybe because I'm in the shade now. Why don't you come away from there and come over here? Before I could even answer, Leader Kong grabbed her arms and almost ran out to the bright spot. She didn't look anxious anymore. But tonight it wasn't cold at all, especially not as much as grabbing arms like that in the winter. I started to feel discomposed. I've never trusted you less than any other people. I trust you more than others. Because I saw Leader Kong hold her breath. Because I just don't trust anyone from Hongryon. As I finished my sentence, Leader Kong became dumbfounded as if she just got hit in the head by a hammer. Are you surprised? Are you really that surprised? But then she ended up laughing out loud as if it was so ridiculous that it's funny. I'm not from Hongryon. I'm from Songdo, Mr. Hisu. Yeah, and? Then someone knocked on the door from outside. Oh my god, can you stop interrupting our cute little banter? What do you want? I was surprised and held my breath. My heart sank down when I thought it could be the merchants from the 6th store of Hongryon. Oh yeah, those are still a problem that is happening. Soon I hear the voice shouting, "Ma'am." It was Leader Kong's bodyguards. Oh. Apparently it's a new term. Merchants from Songdong brought bodyguards with them to avoid being looted while trading. Makes sense. There would be a lot of unpleasant surprises if you travel around without bodyguards. Yeah, I know that for a fact. Fucking bandits. Fuck, no, I was hoping she'd stay another night. I believe that they wandered around the whole day and finally decided to come here after a lot of thoughts. But when the door was open, I knew right away that it wasn't like that at all. Her bodyguards' faces were so calm and they sounded calm as well, as if they were supposed to come here at this hour. Probably to wait for the chaos of the street to die down so it'd be safe for her to walk back. And there was no sweat at all in their forehead. They acted like they were wandering around all day only with their words, so I felt a little weird. I wish I didn't have to see some things that other people usually don't see. Yeah. That can be a problem sometimes. When I looked back, Leader Kong was smiling softly as usual. I should get going now. Thank you so much for saving me. I really wish you didn't have to go. Leader Kong thanked me gently in front of the shabby door. Sure. Take care. And I'll come visit you at Songbog tomorrow or the day after. See you then? Okay. You can stop by any time regarding Hongryon's case. Oh, I just meant to see you, but I guess that makes sense. I'll make his family or people from the silk store available when you come, so you can talk to them. You don't have to. I can adjust my schedule to theirs. Okay then. The front road of Junghuso was muddy in places because of the short rain, but Leader Kong went out of the alley with steady and elegant steps. My heart, I know our little moments are cut short a lot, but like every moment we have is just so adorable and the banter is just so sweet. Oh, I love this route so much. I left alone at Junghuso, grinding ink on the inkstone blankly and then frowned. There was the contract I made with Hongryon on the table. We use the term missing when we describe the case of Clerk Park. Usually on the contract, I use the expression that the client wants, and Hongryon clearly used the word missing. This woman is convinced that losing contact with him is due to an accident, not some simple occasion. I took out the new paper and started writing down the letter that Woo-sung and Juhi would see tomorrow morning. I slept at Junghuso and I went out for the new case. It's just a simple one that's worth about 2 nyang, so you two don't have to worry about me. It's not because I'm upset with you went to the market without me at all, so don't try to find me. The last sentences were true, but when I actually wrote it down, it sounded kind of petty, so I just erased it. I folded the letter, put it on the desk, and then went on the Boryo. There were some cosmetic powders on where Leader Kong was sitting until just now, and I could smell some unfamiliar scent. It was sweet like honey, but bitter like a flower. I was looking at the ceiling blankly and then forced myself to close my eyes. I fell asleep right away. Alright. I guess it's Leader Kong's scent then? Wait, what? Oh, we're in black and white mode now, so I'm gonna say we're either dreaming or going back in time. Possibly both. What? You're a debtor, but you're not gonna take the interest I managed to prepare? What are you talking about? Huh? Why are you pushing me? I said get out. Look at what happened to my brothers because of you. They all broke their arms or legs and became half crippled, which can't even be recovered. Our bodies are our tools. God damn it. Wait, what? Is this what happened before I found Leader Kong on the docks? As he mentioned it, I looked around at those gangsters who were chasing me vigorously, threatening me that they would kill me if they don't get their money back. All broke their arms or legs and their teeth were falling out. Wait, what? The captain of the gang glared at me angrily, but he couldn't even grab me by the throat. What is going on? Jeez, that Leader Kong or whatever sent her people and beat us all up. Babe! Ooh, babe. So this must have been afterwards, babe. Aww. She didn't even tell me why, but when I thought of it, it was just so obvious that it was because of you. Well, maybe you shouldn't have chased me. Huh? Bitch? Oh my god, my girlfriend's the best. I don't understand what you're saying at all. What does this have to do with me? That leader bitch who was tied up at Mappo Port the other day. Oh, you will fucking learn some respect or I'll fucking slit your throat. The woman tied up with the red rope. Tall and fierce eyes. Yes, she is. I'm still mad at you. The lady who was tied up at Mappo Port? When I was about to remember, the captain of the gangsters got mad again. I've never seen her before until I saw her that day chasing you. And then after that, she suddenly sent people and used violence. Of course it's because of you. Who else? Ugh, what the hell? Yeah, well, I'd say that you deserved it. Aw, she's so sweet. Beating up people because of me. Aw. I ended up getting kicked out of that place before finding out what happened. I don't ever want to see you again, so pay me back all at once. Let's make that the only time we'll ever meet, Mr. Toe Rag, sir. Thanks. But if you ever wander around this area before you pay me back or even after, then I won't let you walk out safely. I'm just gonna harm you without thinking of the consequences, so you watch your back. Ha ha. And that's why we don't go to Mappo Port anymore. Okay, I get it now. The gangster kept shouting over and over that he never wants to see us around the back alley of Mappo Port. I was dumbfounded hearing that roar. I started to walk back to Junghuso with Wusung. The leader of Songbong? That woman I saved? She must have been a much more important person than I thought. Yeah, a little bit, and she's clearly taken a fancy to us. Wow. It's been a while since I've seen her throw her power around like that. Ooh. While I was frozen, Wusung was shaking his head with a bitter face next to me. It's good that she's helping us, but it's kind of scary. And kind of hot, actually, too. Her method is quite... And I was feeling this weird feeling that I can't really explain to anyone. I like... Oh my god! I didn't expect Hisu to come out and say it! I like it. What? I kept thinking I wish I had someone on my side. Now I do. Oh, I'm glad Hisu and I are on the same page on that front. Oh my goodness. Now that I don't even have a family, some of my legs felt so weak and I sank right down in the middle of the street. I was too tired already coming to Hongryon, and even after I came to Hongryon, I've been through a lot. Especially since we've been trying so hard to pay off our debt lately, I've used up all my strength. My lady. Not in public, Wusung! I promise that I will protect you even if by sacrificing my life if necessary. Okay, Wusung, it's not attractive when you do it. This is the key difference here. I'm attracted to Leader Kong. I'm not attracted to Wusung. Therefore, don't, brother. Do not. Wusung, I'm not saying you can't protect me. It's just... We were almost at Junghuso, but I couldn't pluck up and get up. Well, Wusung is strong enough to pick me up, so just... Let's piggyback it, little bro. This is not the first time. Then there were some red and blue colored shades above my head. What? Wait, huh? What the fuck? When I looked up, that woman was smiling at me, tilting her fancy parasol that was imported from Qing over my head. Wait, is this Leader Kong or is this somebody else? It is Leader Kong. Hi. I realize that I haven't properly thanked you. No need. So I took the liberty of visiting you without notice. Is that okay with you? Uh-huh? A lot more than okay. I was waving my hands in front of my face because of the dust from my wrinkly gat, and then I got surprised and stopped. I'm the leader of the Songbong in Hanyang, Kong Yurin. So that was the aftermath then. Wow. I didn't know that she sent her men after... Oh. Wow. Babe, you were just making me fall for you even more. At that moment, I opened my eyes. Oh, what the... Oh my god, not this again! Ugh! God damn fucking bugs! Okay, I'm gonna say we're back in the present, maybe? Fucking bugs, calm down. Since the days got longer, the room was bright and steady. Already. Whoops. I had a dream about Leader Kong all night. In my dream, it was 5 years ago somehow. So, a memory? I got up in a daze and grabbed the contract on the table. Hongryon's neat signature. Hongryon even thought about the possibility that Clerk Park might have been killed. I could tell she was definitely suspecting it from her eyes. I tried not to notice it, but it was too obvious. Yeah, and we're kind of naturally observant, so it's kind of a curse. Clerk Park made a mistake at Songbong. He got on Songbong's boat, went to another Songbong in Naju with other people from Songbong, and lost contact there. So Hongryon's basically suspecting the Songbong itself. Oh. Okay, now we really have to help her now. I'm sad because you're so worried about me. You're worried about me because you're doubting me even for a little bit. You think maybe my Songdon actually has some problem. I can't read today. And Leader Kong's sad voice came across my mind. I'm such an idiot. Leader Kong just said it calmly, but she must have been hurt. I notice other people's behaviors too well for no reason, but I don't know when that person right in front of me might have felt. Oh, God, now I really gotta say sorry. I didn't know what I was apologizing for, but oh, shit. Oh, we're going, okay. Songbong was so quiet that it didn't feel like it's noon. I remembered Leader Kong told me the other day that sometimes when there's no ship coming and no cargo to export, and when she's tired and all her servants went to their places to take a rest at the same time, Songbong can be really quiet. The west building door opened and Leader Kong crossed the doorstep with light steps. You're here already. Let's be real, I could never stay away from you for long. She was only with Butler Zheng without bodyguards or other servant girls. Even so, Leader Kong seemed so elegant. Butler Zheng bowed politely at me. Thanks. Didn't you try to kill me with a bat earlier? Or in another ending, I mean, but you still tried to kill me. Where are Lady Juhi and your brother? I didn't want to bring a couple third wheels. I didn't want to make a fuss, so I just came here alone. Oh, I thought you must have brought them with you. Nope, you get me all to yourself. Don't you think it's going to be dangerous to meet the people from Songbong alone? Why? Should I be worried about something? Dangerous? I was wondering Leader Kong got closer to me. Her eyes were beaming with mischief like a grown-up trying to scare a little kid. Please don't refer to me as a child when she's trying to seduce me right now, thank you? It's dangerous to deal with merchants alone. They smile in front of you, but they are still uneducated and rough. Oh, are they now? They will try to use their body if things don't go along well with their favor. Oh no, whatever shall I do? Well, you are a merchant as well. What makes you think I'm not like that? What makes you think I'm gonna stop you? Leader Kong looked at me with the face that I can't tell if she's joking or not and smiled. Anyway, since you came alone, I think I'll have to go with you. I'll just follow you quietly, so don't mind me. Well, don't walk behind me. Come up here and hold my hand. You can talk to anyone you want. Who do you want me to call first? Leader Kong. Yes. I think you should be the first one for me to talk to. Oh, am I the first? I like this game that we're playing. I like this game that we're playing. Leader Kong. Ooh. Leader Kong looked up with a bright and clear attitude like a true merchant. Lead the way. Inside, the room was so quiet. Only the sound of water boiling in the teapot in front of them filled the air. Why aren't you asking any questions? I had twice as more thoughts than usual. If it was somewhere else, I would assume that the person in charge of the place is the suspect and start interrogating that person. Even Inspector Park Wong-sam used to say that it's best to start interrogating from the highest person to the lowest person, to put the whole group in the corner. But I didn't want to treat Leader Kong like a suspect for no reason. Leader Kong was rubbing the tip of the teacup with her pale fingers and then opened her mouth. She just answered what I wanted to ask before I even asked. Clerk Park left Hongryon 4 days after that book of the mathematics and astronomy incident. The ship that took Clerk Park to Naju just came back a while ago, so there must be some records of departures in the ship at the port. If you want to visit Clerk Park's house, sometime between morning and noon would be the best. And since Clerk Park is a Yongbon, he put distance from other plebeian guys and hasn't been really close to them. Thank you for making my job so much easier. Is there anything else you want to know? Leader Kong was looking at me with a smile mixed with curiosity and sensuality as if she was testing me. Wow, thoughts are hard. How long have you known him? I met him after I came to Hongryon. I think it's been about 5 years. Do you know how his parents are doing? He lost his parents at an early age, so they are in their grave. Furthermore, since Clerk Park became a son-in-law of the Songbong, their family erased his name from the genealogy. Oh, scandal. Clerk Park became a member of the Songbong family completely, so I doubt that his real parents would mean anything to him. Did you send Clerk Park to Naju because of the book incident? Did you give the order yourself? Yes, he had to take responsibility for that incident, but I made the decision after discussing with the owners of each store. Leader Kong answered all the questions without hesitation. Well, yeah, why would she? She's got nothing to hide. She looked so calm when she drank lukewarm tea in 3 sips. Ew, lukewarm, babe. She looked even more relaxed than usual. When I was looking at her for a while, suddenly Leader Kong smiled. So that's how you ask questions when you're working on the case. No, I'm not usually this patient or kind with my, suspects. No. Firm and serious. I don't know where you got firm and serious from any of that, but okay. It's a bit scary when I'm the one getting the questions. It's quite nervous and interesting. Oh yeah? Leader Kong looked up, putting her both elbows on the table. When I saw her smiling face, my face got flushed. How come you don't ask your questions? Ask me some more questions, Mr. Hisu. Oh, now you're just playing with me. Now you're just playing. Huh? Don't tell me how to do my job. I've got all the answers I need. What a shame. Leader Kong got up and giggled like some girl next door. Oh, babe. Minx. Don't laugh. Leader Kong ignored and kept laughing with her head down while opening the door for me gracefully. Oh, kitten, you fucking tease. I said don't laugh. I'm gonna go to the port alone. You don't have to follow me. As I was walking away, fluttering my sleeves, Leader Kong was just standing at the doorstep as if she was just seeing what I was going to do. And when I stopped and looked back, then she uncrossed her arms and tilted her head. Do you know how to go to the port directly from here? There are so many people here. I can just ask around. Oh my. Are you going to make people think that the leader of Songbong treats her guests poorly? You've been making fun of me. And I could see someone beautifully dressed up walking towards us from over the doorstep. Who? What? And Butler Zheng was standing in front of her. Wait, what? Butler Zheng approached Leader Kong and told her in a small voice. This woman was waiting in front of Songdan alone, so I let her in. Who? Leader Kong tilted her head with a curious face at an unexpected guest. Then Hongryon bowed politely. Oh, it's you! Okay, hi. I was worried for a second. I know it is rude to come here like this, but Mr. Detective here asked me to come to this, please. So I had no choice but to pay a visit. I invited a third wheel? Why? Okay. Sure, I did this to myself, but she was making fun of me. Oh. I'm pretty sure it was just flirtatious banter, but Hisu's being a little baby, so... What is she talking about, Mr. Hisu? Hey, it's not what you think. If you think that I'm bringing her because I'm attracted to her, it is not the case, I promise you. Did you bring Hongryon here? Actually, I went to her place this morning and brought her with me here. This is what I thought. In most cases, it turns out to be nothing when you actually go to the scene and investigate. Most of the cases are like that. But when they make a request, they usually doubt everything, and the best way to clear their suspicion is to investigate the scene together or let them look at it themselves. Oh, that's why I brought her, so that, like, she could see for herself and not really doubt me. Okay. It's hard to clear the suspicion in mind with words. I swear I didn't bring her to be a third wheel, I promise. It's necessary. So I suggested that she come here with me and look at the scene together. Then Hongryon would be relieved. And since I got this case, I just wanted to clear all the suspicions she has in her mind. And I really believe that Leader Kong is innocent in any part of this incident. I couldn't just tell that in front of his clients, so I had to roughly explain the situation. I just looked at Leader Kong in the eyes instead of explaining in detail. Leader Kong usually reads my mind ahead, so she would do it this time as well. Leader Kong was looking at me for a while and then smiled as if she was sorry. It would have been better if you told me earlier. Yeah, well, you are very distracting, okay? But I must say this is quite your style. And I agree with you. Thanks. Only then was I relieved. Okay, here we go. Oh shit, we're going down to... Oh god, I fear. The port was not that far. The street was so clean that Leader Kong didn't even have to lead the way. Also, there were names on each ship, so anyone could have distinguished the ships. This ship anchored here is the ship that Clerk Park took to go to Naju. Leader Kong pointed at the ship, flipping through the ledger. When I checked the boarding record left in the port, there was the date of the departure and there were some signatures of Clerk Park. It was a flawless and perfect procedure. It was surprisingly well processed given that people usually skip the cumbersome procedures. Huh. Is there anything you want to know? You can ask anything you want to know about the ship. But I had nothing to say. Inside, the ship was really clean. There was no sign of struggle and nothing was broken. There wasn't even any mark from the recent repair. It was not too organized but not too messy. Not too old but not too brand new. It was just the most normal ship resting at the port after sailing. That was the exact description of the ship. It's hard to measure the normality, but the ship was like the standard for being normal. I don't know if these two words can be used in one sentence, but this was a perfectly normal ship. Is this the ship that Clerk Park took? And Hongryon asked in a shaky voice. She looked at the boarding record and read things carefully for a while, then gave it back to Leader Kong with a face that still seemed to have some doubt. Thank you for understanding. Of course, it's no problem at all. You can ask me any time. The perfect boarding record and a perfect ship. All the boat people were saying hi to me with delightful and happy faces. Why? When I asked them if there was anything strange on the ship, they all laughed as if I asked something ridiculous and shook their heads. Was there anything weird about Clerk Park? Not at all. He was a decent man. He didn't even have seasickness. Wait, is he dead? Why are you saying was? He used to sing well at night. I heard he's a Yongbon and I could see that. Huh. That beef bone soup I had in Naju was so good. If you even need to take a ship, we'll take you on our ship. I'm glad you're all well and good, but what? Clerk Park lost contact after he went to Naju? No way. He sent letters to everyone and cared enough to send his regards as soon as he got off the ship. I even sent out some letters for him. The boat people's attitude was so confident and vigorous, and they denied all the suspicion at once. That would have been what I wanted to show Hongryon. But somehow I felt weird. Yeah, this is a little too perfect. I looked back with a little perplexed feeling. Hongryon was so flustered that I didn't know what to do. I feel like I became a drama queen. No, you didn't. This is weird for me too. Hongryon smiled awkwardly and looked at me. Her face got blushed with shame and she seemed like she was about to cry. Oh, don't cry. No, this is just as weird for me. I frowned a little. It must be true that she suddenly lost contact with him. And the boat people are saying that Clerk Park has been keeping in touch with other people. So with all the information combined, it means that Clerk Park suddenly stopped sending letters to Hongryon only. They've been keeping in touch for several years no matter what, and then he suddenly stopped when he went to Naju. Of course, it is quite common that a guy has a sudden change of heart, but it would make more sense that Hongryon was just being dramatic from thinking something happened to Clerk Park when everyone else was saying that he was fine. But something's odd. Why did he stop sending letters to only one woman just because he went to Naju? Excuse me, do you remember who you sent his letters to? Yes, of course. I happen to have a list of people who I sent the letters to. Do you want to look at it? And a boatman gave me a flawless list as if he was waiting for this moment. That's even more suspicious. He was so prepared like he knew this was going to happen. His father-in-law, mother-in-law, wife, 2 servants, and clerks from the silk store. There were names, addresses, the number of letters, and the date he sent out the letters. Why did you even make the list when it's only less than 10 people? I'm not smart enough to memorize them all. I took a glance at them, but they weren't flustered and discouraged at all. I gave the list back to the boat people. Why don't you take it with you? Wouldn't it be better if you visit them and check the letters? I don't know why, but I didn't feel like doing it and I just felt annoyed for some reason. Yeah, you're a little too pushy on that. While I was just standing there blankly, Hongryon stepped out from the back, asked the boatman and got the list again. She wouldn't be able to visit them alone, but she just took it. And then she was shaking her hands, not knowing what to do now. She didn't look so adamant as yesterday. I think Bong Tae is really doing well in Naju. I must have been overreacted. And Hongryon mumbled in a small voice and forced herself to smile. Her eyes were filled with anxiety and she kept frowning in bewilderment. Then Leader Kong called me. Did you say you wanted to talk to his family as well? Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I did. For some reason, I was a bit distracted. Well, probably because this seems sketchy as hell. Hongryon is coming with us, right? Wouldn't she want to see all of it since she came all the way here? Then Hongryon got surprised and looked up. What? Am I going to Clerk Park's house too? Aren't his wife and in-laws living there? Am I wrong? I don't see why not. You said it's not like you two had a romantic relationship. Yeah, and I hope it stays that way. But if you think about it in her perspective, a Gisang is looking for her husband whatever the reason is. I don't think I can go. I'm not just a woman, I'm a gisang. That's terrible and really unfortunate that you have to be crippled like that. Ugh, social crippling sucks. You worry too much. Clerk Park would have been a little kid who didn't even know what love is when you were at the highest point in your life as a famous gisang. While Leader Kong pressed her, giving a sigh, Hongryon was lowering her head with thin wrinkles on it. Well, okay then. You should come with us and wait quietly in front of the door. No, you can wait outside with me. Mr. Detective here will go inside alone. Babe, fine. I guess it's bring your wife to work day. Then Hongryon looked at me again and then bowed again deeply. Alright. Oh, we're going now? Okay, I guess we're going now. The silk store owner's house was so close to Songbong like the port, the house where Clerk Park was living as his son-in-law. The wall was so high and the storages were so big that I could even see them from outside over the wall. The house was magnificent. Leader Kong and Hongryon were going to wait outside, and I was the only one who was going to get inside. I guess they knew I was coming since I wasn't interrupted by anyone when I went inside the silk store owner's house. The owner of the silk store wasn't home. I could only meet Clerk Park's wife. Okay. Clerk Park's wife was waiting for me in the attached building already. I thought there would be some blinds there, but when I went in, she was sitting on a cushion not covering her face at all. Her name was Jun Un-sang. She asked me to call her Mrs. Jun. Good, cause that's a mouthful for me. Pleasure to meet you, Angie face. Sure. I don't know why I gave her a dude voice there, maybe it's cause she was a terse. Mrs. Jun frowned and looked at me angrily. I was surprised by how not decent she was. She looked back and forth at my eyes, nose, and mouth, and even frowned really badly. I'm sure you already know why I'm here. Why are you so angry with me? Can I ask you a few questions? Sure. She frowned again. I sat across her feeling a little awkward. I didn't sit right across her, but a little to the side. When I looked up, I could see her shaking her head. I heard that one of his friends whom I don't know wants to know my husband's whereabouts. Sure. So I told that friend that he went to Naju, but I think that friend thinks it's a little weird that he hasn't written any letter ever since he went to Naju. That friend is worried that he might be in trouble and maybe that's why he hasn't sent letters. Huh? Is that so? What nonsense. I've been getting letters just fine. I see. I was watching her behavior, still doubting if she's acting or not. She looked blunt, but I could feel that she's flustered, and she was so tense, raising her guard against me. But maybe it's a natural reaction since a stranger just came to visit her. Soon, Mrs. Jun pulled out a wrinkled letter from the drawer and showed it to me. Here, this is the letter I got from my husband. He said he wrote it when he arrived at Naju. Okay, she gave me a few pages of a letter. My eyes were filled with Clerk Park's handwriting that's so neat that no one could really copy easily. Here's what he wrote in the letter. Dear, I'm worried if you and your parents are doing okay there. I'm in Naju now. The marketplace in Naju is so crowded with people as always. They say once you put your name on Songbong, you become a Songdo merchant regardless of your social status. I guess I'm a Songdo merchant at the end of the day. I feel much better looking around the marketplace here. I went to the marketplace tonight and looked around. There were lots of nice goods there. I'm missing you even more today. I'm thinking of saving money and buying an overcoat for your father and a jade binyo for you from here when I go back. Also, I'm sending you some baby clothes and shoes for when our baby is born, so please take care. I'll write you another letter when I go back. He really is a Yongbon. His writing was so good that I couldn't even be half as good as him even if I study for 10 years from now. Mrs. Jun, as I'm reading this letter, I'm curious. Oh, fuck. We have a choice here. Maybe we compare it to the other writings? Can I see his other writings that he wrote before he went to Naju? I need to compare the writings. Mrs. Jun pointed here and there in the room, looking at me weird as if I said something ridiculous. His hobby is writing, so all these letters on the wall and a folding screen are written by my husband. And there's a record that can guarantee this is my husband's handwriting by everyone in this silk store. Now that she mentioned it, I noticed there were scrolls everywhere in the room. Those were all excellent handwriting that even the government official wouldn't even compete. Are you doubting the authenticity of the letters? I have to check! The wife frowned again. I understood that she's upset because the letter was for sure written by Clerk Park. The paper was so thin that it didn't have any trace of forgery, and the handwriting was exactly the same with Clerk Park's handwriting from the writing I secretly skimmed through this morning. The only thing is that the letters in the letter were a little shakier. But it wasn't that different enough to be suspicious. It really was a letter written by Clerk Park. And did Clerk Park really just stop writing letters to Hongryon all of a sudden for no reason? There's another thing I want to ask. What is putting the name on a songbong? What exactly does that mean? They record the names of secretaries and clerks in Songbong's ledger? Not just secretaries and clerks. They even record all their servants' names. My gosh, even the servants? Yes. They are servants for the silk store, so they put their names on Songbong. They put their names for anyone who works for Songbong, and then the Songbong looks after them. The bond is that strong. Is that how they harden their solidarity? If they put people on the records like that, it means they're combining everyone in one big group. Even the servants put their name on Songbong ledger. I was thinking of Clerk Park's face that is already blurry in Hongryon and then gave a sigh. Okay, there's another thing I want to ask. You expecting a baby? You expecting a baby soon? What? Does my belly look like the belly of a pregnant woman? It's in the letter! I'm sorry! No, it doesn't at all. Her belly wasn't big at all and her body was skinny. I was thinking maybe she was in the early stage of pregnancy and her belly didn't get bigger yet, but that didn't make sense. She didn't have morning sickness at all. How would you know that? And if she was pregnant, she wouldn't be sitting in front of me alone like this. Then why would he say he would send baby clothes in this letter? That's weird. He always wanted to have a baby. Maybe he just wanted to buy some baby clothes. He likes babies a lot. Imagine how sad he would have been when he had to go to Naju alone without me when he wanted to have a baby with me. But still, it was so weird. He sent some baby clothes for the baby he doesn't even have yet? I see. In the letter, he said he sent the clothes with this letter together. Can I see the clothes? I'm asking if the clothes came with the letter. Mrs. Jen hesitated for a while and then grabbed the drawer, giving a sigh. But she kept dragging on and couldn't open the drawer. Why do you want to see those? Curiosity? You're doubting that the letter might be fake, aren't you? Goodness, sir, you are so petty. Ask anyone who knows my husband. Ask if that letter was written by someone else. If there's anyone who can even imitate his handwriting. Mrs. Jen seemed quite upset. All she said, pounding her chest, was all true. She hesitated for a while and then opened the drawer and almost threw the baby clothes in front of me. There, are you still doubting the letter? Look at them yourself. Now what else are you going to say? Nothing. I'm sorry I doubted the letter. But can I take those letters outside for a while? What? Because if I show these letters to Clerk Park's friend, they'll notice the handwriting and accept the truth. Do as you please. Mrs. John kept looking at me with a frown on her face and then turned around against me. Then I noticed that she was nearsighted. She was frowning the whole time because she couldn't see well. And then she couldn't see where my eyes were exactly, so that's why she was out of focus and looked like she was peeking at me. And I started to have a headache. I've seen too many things on the way here from the port. Oh god, okay. Wow. Oh my god, not again! You know what, screw it. You have to listen to this too. Do you hear how loud that is? Yes, this is definitely Clerk Park's handwriting. It's more cursive than usual, but this is for sure his handwriting. I'm relieved that he's been at least sending letters home. Oh, finally, silence. Hongryon looked a bit sad, but managed to smile and lowered her head. But Leader Kong was nowhere when she was supposed to be waiting with her. Wait, what? Babe? Where is Leader Kong? She just left saying she has something to look for at Songbong. She asked me to wait here for a little. I guess she didn't know that you would come out this early. Hongryon feebly answered, looking like she doesn't even know what to say. She tried to smile, but she could only lift the tails of her mouth up a little. She wasn't smiling at all. Even with those wrinkles around her lips and her droopy eyes, Hongryon still looked beautiful and her body was still in shape. There must have been the time that she smiled brightly with a stunning face, doing a sword dance when she was young. When I first met Clerk Park, he was a little kid without even a top knot. When we first came to Hongryon on my horse, we met some mischievous boys on the way, following us and singing. He was one of them at first. Hongryon bit her lips hard. He was just a boy who liked paintings and singing. Then I could hear the voice of Clerk Park's wife from inside the house. Hongryon flinched and then quickly stepped away from the gate. Thank you for investigating this case for me, sir. Wait, what? I should get going now. What? Are you just going to go like this? What more should I had nothing to say to her. I carried her around half the day showing the evidence that tells us that Clerk Park is safe in Naju. I even showed her the letter he wrote his wife. What am I going to show her if I stop her? When I couldn't answer, Hongryon turned around feebly and almost ran away. Wait a minute. Huh? Since you've said you've known him for a long time, do you know where he used to live before he became a son-in-law of this family? You mean the house he used to live when he was little? Yes. Do you know where it is? Yes, I know, but what? What's happening? What? I came back to the West Building alone. The case was basically closed since Hongryon went back home. As I watched the sun set, I felt some trouble on my mind and felt uncomfortable for some reason. Of course, there was no evidence at all. There was not one evidence to support Hongryon's suspicion. Not even one. There wasn't even any trace, and my client accepted it and went back. Clerk Park sent several sweet letters to his family. Leader Kong was so nice to me and no one in Songbong tried to stop me. Everything went as I expected. No, not as I expected. It was more like I hoped to be. When was the last time I've ever investigated something this easily? When it all felt kind of spooky all of a sudden, I saw the door was open. What? It was Leader Kong's bedroom. Oh, the bugs are back! Okay. The door was always closed, but somehow it was half open. When I got closer, I didn't feel anyone's presence in the room. Are you in there? There was no answer, of course. There was no one walking around. Songbong was deathly quiet. I've been making vain efforts all day for some reason. I suddenly wanted to search through the room, so I unconsciously moved my hand. Wait, what? Okay, we'll save. Well, of course I'm gonna go in. I need to check on her. Yurin? I carefully put my feet inside Leader Kong's bedroom. I feel like I shouldn't do this, and I got a chill on my back because of that. But I was already in the room. I searched through the room, opening the drawers and closets. My heart was beating so loud. Why am I searching through this room? Do I really think that Leader Kong kindly hid some critical evidence in the room so I can find it? No, there's no way that would happen. And even if someone intentionally got rid of the evidence, why do I think that is Leader Kong? This place was too weird. Everything was too perfect. How am I going to explain all this weird disharmony? If everything that happened today was all manipulated, then who else could have done it so perfectly like this? Leader Kong's bedroom was too dark even considering that the sun was already down. The sun wouldn't shine into this room even during the day, and it'll be darker than a jail at night. The location of the room was so bad that it made me wonder why the owner of the whole Songbong chose this dark and humid room like a spider den as her residence. She might be punishing herself. Fuck. I felt enervated while touching all the stuff in this room. I want to be relieved that there's nothing in this room. I really wanted to. But I hated myself for being even more suspicious because there was nothing in the room. Why am I so mean? I mean, yesterday too. I wish I didn't see the faces of the guards. I wish I didn't have to think about anything. Anything. Then a hand suddenly reached out from the back and grabbed my hand. Leader Kong? What are you doing? When I barely managed to look back, not being able to move my body at all with my hands pressed by her, I could see the shape of Leader Kong's head. I could hear the rustling from her clothes in a very close distance. I could smell an unfamiliar cosmetic scent from right under my nose. Don't you know that you can be executed by hanging by the law if you get into a woman's room against their will? I'm sorry. Have I ever gave you permission today? Leader Kong, I suddenly wanted to cry, because what I wanted to ask was too devastating to ask. It's odd. It's just so odd. What is... The fact that there's no evidence can be evidence itself for someone's innocence, but everything in this Songbong was organized so perfectly like someone sculpted the jade, which means someone was involved. Songbong seemed weirder now for not having any evidence at all than having several pieces of evidence. And I know that there's only one person who can manage to do this. I wanted to know if she just organized the situation or if she had something she wanted to hide. But I couldn't ask anything I really wanted to ask. If she denies everything, then of course I have to believe whatever she says. But I really wanted to believe her. That's what no evidence means. I froze for a while with my hand on her hold. Soon the room got completely dark. Leader Kong, can I ask you one thing? Whoa! What? And when I finally managed to smack my lips, suddenly my body started leaning backward and Leader Kong's cold hand slid up on my arm. Wait, what? Is she kissing me? Oh, she is. In a second, Leader Kong's lips were on my lips. Oh. I couldn't resist but just flinched the tip of my fingers. At the same time I was surprised by her tongue pushed inside my mouth. I noticed the taste of salt on Leader Kong's lips. Wait! Unfamiliar cosmetic. You're not kissing me just to kiss me. You're knocking me out or poisoning me. Wait, no. I knew that she was at the port for quite a long time other than the time she went with me and that she went there several times. I didn't want to think of anything else anymore. I was kissing a woman and I'm 1,000 times more scared of something else. Finally losing my mind. I kept feeling like I'm out of breath. Wait, is she poisoning me? My gat was pushed backward and now it completely fell back and the string was untied. I could hear my gat falling to the ground and Leader Kong's fingers holding my arms were cold as ice. My clothes were untied roughly. Then I was surprised and got away from Leader Kong. Leader Kong flinched the tip of her hands and then backed away, lowering her head. Wait, so you weren't trying to poison me? You just... What is going on? You saved me once before. I just kept smacking my lips, not knowing what to do, looking at Leader Kong. My wrist fell asleep and tingly from being held by Leader Kong as if I just got stung by a wasp. Suddenly my eyes started to be filled with tears. I'll give you everything. I'll be your fence and protect you. I can do anything for you if you can just promise me that you'll be on my side. Please tell me if you want. I'll get anything you want, like money, power, even women or men. I'll give you anything as much as you want. Wait, why are you doing this? You don't have to give anything back to me. That didn't matter in the first place. Why are you doing this? You just don't have to turn your back on me. Suddenly her voice started to shake. She said it didn't matter. Leader Kong didn't smile anymore and didn't fake her voice. She finished the sentence in a gloomy voice like a person who's never had anything before, and then just lowered her head. Then Butler Zheng called her from outside. Leader Kong got startled and dragged me inside the room. Leader Kong, are you in there? The merchants from the 6th store of Hongryon came. They want to talk to you about the closing metal store. What is going on?